Hey, it's Nikki Jensen.
And Brie Piccone.
And we're Late to the Party, a weekly podcast about film, fashion, and pop culture from two best friends mentally in the house of Gucci. Father, son, house of Gucci.
Amen.
Yes. Remember when, at least for me, I thought House of Gucci was going to save cinema in 2021.
Yes. I think we all did. I feel like there was so much anticipation for this movie, so much marketing, so many like red carpet moments, like so many memes.
The memes, No, I'm thinking of The Star is Born. See, this movie and the press cycle just truly feel like such a fever dream that I'm like getting confused with Star is Born. Like if there's 1,000 people in the room and I'm the one. Yeah. I'm like that, but that Star is Born.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I feel like A Star is Born is her performance of the lifetime, not Patrizia Reggiani, just saying. But it was still good. She was still good.
But remember, there was a time 2 whole years ago.
2 whole years, yes.
But it feels like 200 where we saw like 2020 or 2021 peak COVID time, those stills and that picture of her and Adam Driver après ski.
Yes, that sweater. Oh my God.
The cable knit sweater and like the full red ski suit. And we were like, this is it. This is gonna save cinema. Gaga's gonna get her Oscar.
Yes.
It was like everything. And then the press cycle came out for House of Gucci and it was like, no, this isn't gonna be it. Like we did one of our first, I think it was our second podcast episode ever. We talked about Gaga and Gucci.
We did. We went all in on like the story of the murder and just Lady Gaga in general, like being in this movie, like our thoughts like beforehand. And
then the movie came out and we were like, okay, should we watch this? Because it's getting panned. Also, like Lady Gaga, the press cycle, I already saw and heard Jared Leto as Paolo, right?
Yeah, Paolo.
And sorry, I have to say it like Lizzie McGuire.
I know, it
movie.
makes me think of the Lizzie McGuire movie too. I was thinking that.
Yeah. I feel like this movie's just a bunch of like this hand motion and boopity boppities.
It is very over the top. I want to just say, like, I've been really wanting to see this movie because I feel like I've been begging you in a way because we both were kind of like waiting to see it in the theater. And then like with the critic review, it's like, but then I'm like, maybe it would still be good. Like, let's not listen to the critics. But, you know, whatever happened, didn't really get a chance to go in. And then I feel like I've just been thinking in the back of my mind about this movie for like over like 2 years now. And I had so much anticipation and excitement built up because in my mind, I'm like, this movie has so much potential. Like the cast, like it's going to be so good. And I don't know. I have so many thoughts, so many things to unpack. I feel like I'm really let down by this movie.
Do you feel personally like betrayed by House of Gucci?
I do. I feel personally betrayed.
Like attacked personally by Ridley Scott?
I do. Yeah, I definitely do.
Well, let's get into it. So yeah, what were your thoughts? Well, today we're talking about the House of Gucci.
Yeah.
If you didn't gather.
Yeah, if you didn't gather. I know. I wonder how many people have actually seen this movie. How many people went to the actual theater to see it in high hopes and left feeling the way we did?
I feel like this movie is going to be like a canon event. Because, you know, like when, like my comfort place is going on Wikipedia when I'm trying to fall asleep. Yeah. And looking at like late 90s, early 2000s, like the years and like every single movie that came out. In my like childhood memory, I'll remember seeing an ad or a poster for that and like it came and went. Or seeing buzz around it and it came and went, or like these things I've never heard of.
That's what this is going to be.
It's going to be that.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to be like...
It's a shame.
It's going to be one of those events like people are going to probably feel about Cats in 10 years.
Oh gosh, Cats.
But yeah, where they like see it though. They see Taylor Swift in this like cat suit, or they see like the butthole edit. And,
oh my God, no.
And they're like, what fever dream was this? Did this really come out in 2019?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be House of Gucci. It's going to be like, Jared Leto did what? Lady Gaga pulled the Daniel Day-Lewis for this?
Yeah.
It's going to be a canon event.
For sure. I think you're right. Yeah.
So you had high hopes.
I had high hopes. I tried not to. I even told you before we started watching the movie, I was like, you know what? I cannot get high hopes for this movie. I need to curb them because
curb your enthusiasm.
I need to curb my enthusiasm because I knew it was going to be, it's never going to be what you hope and dream. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, it's been 2 years. We've read reviews. Like, there has to be some truth. Like, I don't like reviews to stop me from watching things, but I think sometimes there's usually some reason behind them. So
yeah, I feel like there's some validity in them.
Yeah.
Also, I remember, and I just watched it, the Lady Gaga press cycle for Gucci, where she has this long interview, and I know she did a couple, but there's this one in particular where she talks about method acting.
Yeah.
And like having to see like a psychiatric nurse.
Yeah.
And that's wild for what this movie is.
Yes.
It kind of gives me the ick. Like, as much as I love Gaga, I've like obviously like been a big obviously I've never talked about her, but in my life like Lady Gaga.
I feel
really
like mentioned her on the pod here and there.
Well, maybe. I will say the Monster Ball tour like movie, like DVD on HBO or whatever it was on HBO, right?
I think so.
But whatever the documentary was, changed my life and informed me into the person I am today.
That's when you built your Gaga shrine?
Pretty much. And yeah, I had a Lady Gaga shrine.
Yeah.
I saw the Marry the Night music video and I was like, I want to become a director. I'm going to tell everyone it's because of like Sofia Coppola and Martin Scorsese. But low-key, I saw Marry the Night and I was like, this is art. And I want to do this one day because Lady Gaga directed it. And I was like, oh, she's an artist.
She is. That's what I love about her. Like, she is so into art and she expresses herself like fully. Like, she does not hold back. And I think like I know the interviews you're talking about. And I think that's also part of like, for me, like there was so much hype around this movie that I thought it was going to be so much more. And I thought her character was going to be so much more. Like, and we'll get into like each character and stuff, but
it's intense though.
Yeah, no, it is intense. Yeah,
it's so intense, Brie.
It is.
For what this is, it's not worth it. It was so intense.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if she should have gone to those places. Like
I hate to say this. Like, Be Still My Heart and Little Monsters don't come for me. I don't want another Swiftie situation. But I say this with love for Gaga.
Yeah.
Has she lost the plot? Because like all we've seen, I know that she wants to retreat a little bit. Like she doesn't have to be the Gaga persona.
Yeah.
But like having a psychiatric nurse for House of Gucci, doing those like commercials for that drug where she's on the piano.
Oh yeah.
What I mean is Lady Gaga kind of went from some like performance artist who was kind of humble.
Yeah.
And she turned, I just think she's a little self-important.
Humble. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I think she's a little self-important. I love you, Gaga.
No, I love her too. I think it's also like the listening to her talk about the movie, like the role, like, and talking about like being Italian American, which I totally understand. But like, I don't think this movie I'm sorry. Okay. I'm trying to hold it in.
No, let it all out.
This movie did not meet my expectations. I just feel like it was all hype and not like there's some parts of it that I think are good and some performances, like there's bits and pieces, but I think overall it just could have been better. Yeah, I wanted more, like more everything.
It's so interesting, I think.
Yeah.
House of Gucci. Did it need to happen?
Did it need to happen? No. But it could, see, like,
it had a lot of potential.
Like, if you go and listen to our episode where we talk about, like, the Gucci murder, like, if you sit and read about the murder
if you read House of Gucci.
Just read the book. Oh, my God. It's so exciting. They're so, like, I feel like this movie tries to do too much. And, like,
it ends up downplaying.
Yes.
All of the wild, crazy events. Because the Gucci's, What did they say? It's like the first generation creates, the second generation
Just
progresses it. I butchered that already. And then generation 3 destroys it.
They destroy it. Okay.
And Maurizio, Paolo, the other one, they destroyed Gucci. And it took Big Daddy Tom Ford to come in, sex it up.
Yeah.
That was actually a part of the movie where I'm like, it's so polarizing too, because I loved it and I hated it. And I audibly screamed.
Yeah.
Because of Andre Leon Talley.
You did. You were like, that's Andre Leon Talley.
They did him so dirty. Also, they shot on location in Italy. And they didn't even use Italy.
I feel like there's so much that just they could have done better. Like that just
You had Lady Gaga going full Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes.
And you also had Jared Leto dressed like he was like, instead of like Norbit, it's Paolo.
Yeah.
And, and talking like he's a Super Mario brother.
Yeah.
And like, what? You have Al Pacino being the best.
Yeah.
Adam Driver, like right off of Marriage Story, being super serious in this other movie. Like, what in the world?
Yeah. What in the world, Ridley Scott?
But I do hear that he really lets his actors roam and be free.
Yeah. That's true. That's good.
And that's worked sometimes.
Yeah.
Dude, Ridley Scott had a really bad 2021 with this and The Last Duel.
Yeah. But when you think about it, what other movies were even out? Because like when I also looked like Oscar wise and stuff, like what was nominated, and because the House of Gucci only got one nomination and it was just for the hair and makeup. But and there was good hair and makeup, but I don't even know any of the other movies that are on there. I don't recognize any of them. I don't know. I don't think anyone was really going to the movies at that time.
No, I remember in 2021 in general, like looking back at my Letterboxd, I think I watched only a handful of movies in general. And it was like Chaos Walking, which was terrible, and Dune, which I fell asleep through twice.
Yeah. I mean, I like Dune okay, but
we weren't going to the movies.
We didn't have anything else. Yeah, we didn't go to the movies.
But yeah, that Oscar season really was just all about the slap.
Yeah, it was.
And I had...
And a slap in the face to Gucci.
Yes. Which, did it win for hair and makeup?
I think, yeah, I thought so.
Oh.
Am I crazy?
Good for them.
Did it win or did it just get nominated?
I can see a nomination, but 2021 must have been a rough year. I don't even know what was nominated that year. I know Coda won. Didn't see it. It's like the one year I really didn't watch any nominees.
Same. But we thought House of Gucci would save us.
I thought so. I thought it was really going to be a crowd pleaser. I also am the biggest A Star Is Born, like Bradley Cooper's A Star Is Born fan.
Yes.
I saw it like 4 times in the movie theater.
That one was so good.
Cried every time.
Yes.
Like, I really was disappointed and distraught when Lady Gaga didn't win Best Actress, even though I knew it was a long shot.
Yeah. Apparently, Jared Leto was also distraught. He said Gaga should win like everything. Like he was like, I was shocked.
What are your thoughts on Jared Leto? Speaking of polarizing figures.
Dude, I don't know. I think I feel polarized by him. Sometimes I love him and sometimes I hate him. Like it's like a weird love-hate relationship. Like I think he's an attractive man. He's got those piercing blue eyes, which kind of scare me and intrigue me at the same time.
Are you like that like clip of Shawn Mendes when he's on the lie detector test? And he's like, blue-eyed people scare me. I don't trust them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like not. I mean, it's just like when they're piercing. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain, like it looks like he looks into your soul. Like I don't know, it just freaks me out a little. But he also kind of looks like Jesus, which is hot.
I don't know. This doesn't really give good, because you're kind of describing a cult leader, which is he's alleged to be. So
wait, he's alleged to be a cult leader?
Yeah, look into it. Look into it.
And am I in this cult? Maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
He does give like Bikram yoga cult man vibes.
Yes, actually, yeah. Yeah, no, he's kind of off-putting. I'm just saying objectively, I think like on the surface level, I think he's attractive. He's intriguing. Something about his piercing blue eyes and his long, luscious hair. But then he's also like, I don't know. He kind of scares me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his unhingedness. Maybe it's
sending those gifts.
Yeah. Who's to say? I don't really love him. I don't know. I feel like I can't make up my mind on him. How about you?
I agree. Jared Leto's a cutie patootie. Mm-hmm. I've liked things he's been in.
Yeah.
But he also gives me the ick. Like, he's very good when he's good, but I do have a lot of, like, empathy, or I feel really bad for Jared Leto in a way, because when you see him in certain roles, or you see, like, that, I think it was the guy who killed John Lennon when he was in that biopic, and he gained all that weight by eating all that ice cream, microwaved. I don't know, he just gained, or like donuts, I forget what method he used, but he just gained so much weight and lost it, did the whole putting the, like, was it a pig head or whatever it was for the Suicide Squad? Like, he gave everyone as the Joker. Like, there's something about Jared Leto that is a little too intense for my liking.
Yeah, I think it's too intense for me too. Yeah,
I like what it is. Even when he wore cornrows in Panic Room. I don't know whose choice that was, if it was David Fincher or Jared Leto, but it's just every choice he makes as an actor is on and off screen or a little too intense.
Yeah. Also, did he walk for Gucci? Was it Gucci?
He did. Right? He did those fabulous Gucci campaigns with Lana Del Rey.
He did. Yeah. Which, I mean, do look really cool.
He knows how to wear a Gucci velvet suit.
Yeah. And but we're missing that in this movie. It's like,
he should have been Tom Ford.
Actually, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. When he brings, yes, because he can wear those suits. Yeah. That's another thing with this movie. I wanted more fashion, like more, like they had access to the Gucci archives, and I don't know if they used them all, like to the potential, or like maybe the clothing was more boring. Like maybe it was the timing. I don't know, because we don't get to see a lot of the Tom Ford of it all either when he revives Gucci, which I was hoping to see.
Well, we didn't even, I don't want to put you... I'm going to say we.
Yeah, I say we. We might have like the same feeling.
Just tell me if it's wrong. Yeah. Okay, we didn't even get to know who Tom Ford was.
No.
All of a sudden, we just see this man who I was like, I guess that's supposed to be Tom Ford, because he kind of looks like Tom Ford, but not really.
Yeah.
And they're talking about it like he should take over.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's Tom Ford, but we're not really.
Yeah.
The movie doesn't ever tell you what's going on. It's a lot of you know how they say show don't tell when you're making a film?
Yeah.
They don't show it, and they also don't tell it. And they just are like, Ridley Scott's like, no, you'll figure it out. But this story is so interesting and so weird.
It's a missed opportunity. And it also, I think, covers like about 20 years time. So like when you cover that much span of time, you have to make it known what decade you're in and how it like, and there's so many events that unfold.
So many needle drops that aren't cohesive. So they don't use them to tell the time period.
Yeah.
They don't use it in like an I, Tonya way to like encapsulate like a vibe or a mood. It's just like random songs.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love Here Comes the Rain Again. So anytime they decide to play that, I'm like into it.
Yeah.
Mixed feelings.
I know, right? Every time I hear Bad Girls at a club, I'm like, yes.
Toot toot. Beep beep. Beep. That was a little on the nose. I'm like, oh man.
I love that. I would like more of that. Like more on the nose.
They should have just done disco.
Yeah. Disco would have been great. Disco theme. For sure. Yeah.
Anything. Like just pick something.
For sure.
Make a choice.
Make a choice. I agree.
We were talking about the cast a bit.
Yeah.
So Lady Gaga, this is her second like proper film.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on her acting career?
I love Gaga as an actor. I feel like I want to see her in more things. I feel like in this movie, she did her job, you know? And I think, you know, it does kind of feel, because you said this when we were watching, like her and Jared Leto are in like a totally different movie than everyone else. Mm-hmm. But I would have loved to see that movie. I would have loved it to be more campy. because she goes there. Like, I do love that she pushes things. Like, you know, I think she has talent. Like, I think she's a great actor. I don't know. I just love everything she does. And I think I always will. You know, she just is always giving. Okay. I'd love to see her in more things. Like, I especially loved her in A Star Is Born. Like, she killed it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Underrated. Even though she got nominated for all the awards and all the praise. I feel like I'm personally that one person in the room. I feel like I'm Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. Same.
But this movie didn't elicit those same feelings. She did slay as Patrizia Reggiani. But, yeah.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a slay.
Yeah. I agree. Just, like, overall. I feel like they could have given her more to work with, like, character-wise. Like, I just wish we would have seen more, like, I don't know.
There's no commitment to it. The movie never makes a choice whether we should be rooting for her or against her.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed to feel that empathy towards her. Like, even if she was, like, an anti-hero of sorts, we're not allowed to feel that empathy for her. Even though I feel like we should, but I feel like it's too Switzerland.
Yeah.
Where it's like, she's not bad and she's not good, but it's like
too neutral. It's too... Yes, I feel like I was missing that too, is like a strong feeling of like rooting for one of the characters, and I couldn't figure out who to root for because I didn't really root for Maurizio. He was kind of...
He was a little bitch.
Yeah, he was a little bitch. He had no spine. Attractive though. Like, I think Adam Driver as Maurizio was great. Like, that was great casting, and he definitely had the look, and like he did his like Gucci walk and everything. Like, he definitely... I don't know. I think he slayed. But yeah, I wish I saw either like some of his perspective too, like some emotion, or from her some more, like just trying to understand them as people and who they are and why they do what they do, or like the whole world of Gucci. Like, I feel like I would have liked to get to know some of the side characters more. Like, it feels like they just come in and come out like a whirlwind and things just happened. And yeah. I don't know. That's why I'm like, following the plot of this movie is really difficult unless you like do your research and read up on the whole events and the timeline of the Gucci murders and the Gucci family and like the, you know, all that. It's like you kind of have to do that, I feel, to understand this movie fully.
Yes. I feel like we knew so much going into it because we did all that research for that podcast episode. And if you didn't know that, like, I understand why the critics gave it such like abysmal ratings, or like mid ratings to like abysmal ratings, because if you don't walk in knowing about it, and you shouldn't go into a movie like being like, I have to have homework.
Right.
But the movie leaves you so lost. Like, I could not imagine if I didn't know anything about the Gucci murder or anything.
Yeah, I think I'd be so confused.
I would hate it. And I feel like maybe I'm like, so I don't know, the movie was okay is because I did homework, which
yeah,
it's not. But to your point about Gaga's performance is good in the way that she plays it. It's like the camera wants to always pan to her, even when it doesn't. It's always like the story wants to be about her so much, and she plays Patrizia like someone that deserves our empathy and to be felt and studied, which is probably why, you know, she had to seek a therapist.
Yeah, she was like too in it.
But like, the movie calls for the focus to be there.
Yes, it should be more on her, in my opinion.
But then all of a sudden you'll see, you know, Jared Leto looking like, what's that guy from Mario? The bad guy?
Waluigi?
Yes. He's looking like Waluigi, just like in the background. And like even in that one scene, which I loved because it was high camp, where Patrizia, you know, there's like an actual like performance, and then like Jared Leto's in the background dancing like Pennywise. He dances.
Oh my god,
yeah. I don't know.
I did kind of love that. I kind of feel like if this movie was maybe campier and it had a stronger style to it, I would have maybe enjoyed it more. Because I think if you're gonna make a character over the top, like just do it. Like just go all the way. Like, And then people can say what they want, but at least they'll be like, oh, it was a campy movie. It wasn't completely accurate. No one's looking for that. But it was hard to figure out the tone.
Yes. Well, don't put Jared Leto in a box then. Yeah. Let his freak flag fly. Let him look like Waluigi and be crazy. Like, I feel like the movie's always trying to contain because everything gets really serious and then he's there.
Or keep that scene with Patrizia and Pina in there. Like, apparently they had like some type of like, I don't know, like scene where I guess they make out or something. I don't know. I didn't know this, but I guess Gaga improvised. Like Ridley Scott let them improvise, and it went there after he's been murdered. Like, that's spicy. Now that didn't probably happen, but it's spicy.
Your gay agenda, Brie.
I know.
You gave me such a hard time for the past month about my gay agenda. But you knew about
it. But you told me about it. I probably would have never known.
Oh, yeah. You really thought I had the gay agenda, but now you have the gay agenda.
I know I do. Now it's my turn.
I like the Spider-Man meme of gay agendas.
I know. But it's, it's just... I guess what I'm saying is, like, it's hard when you're taking real life events and trying to make something... Because you can only make it so accurate. Most likely. So why not let it go crazy? Have fun. Yeah. I don't know.
Excuse me. Sorry, I
feel like this has been a whole like rant.
I know.
Like, I was gonna like set the scene and
we did really come in hot, didn't we?
We came in hot. I'm so sorry.
We were like fucking House of Gucci. Yeah.
I wonder if the people agree with us though. Like, I wonder what our listeners think. I wish I could like phone them in and just get their thoughts real quick and be like, are we all in agreement? Is this okay?
Call mom. Be like, what are your thoughts? She'll be like, yeah. Let's watch Frasier.
She'd probably be like, this made me fall asleep. Like, yes. It was actually, there was a point in this movie for the whole first half of the movie, I started losing interest and getting bored and getting a little sleep. I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on?
I did see you on your phone quite a bit.
Yeah.
Which never really happens.
No. I was still paying attention, but nothing was happening,
Yeah. I completely agree. I feel like I only zeroed in on like the parts from the trailer.
Yeah. The trailer is great. The trailer.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about the trailer?
Yeah.
In the movie too, it's good. But when Gaga says, what is it?
I'm not a particularly ethical person,
but I'm fair.
And then she goes, ding, ding, with a little spoon.
Yes. That's
chills.
That's like Oscar worthy in itself.
Yes.
I feel like that should have just been for your consideration for the Oscar campaign for Gaga.
Just that.
Yeah. Really discourage people from seeing the movie. Just be like, watch that.
Just watch the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. When I do Father, Son, House of Gucci, don't know the context. Just watch me, baby. I improvise that.
I know. I love that she improvised that. I feel like that we do get some gems, I guess, from this movie like that. Jared Leto dancing, Father, Son, House of Gucci.
A full recreation of the 1995 Tom Ford fashion show.
Oh, I loved that. Yes. Where the men and women are both in thongs or whatever, like the chaps.
The iconic one. Iconic with the Kate Moss blue silk shirt that Madonna also wore to the VMAs. The red velvet suit that Gwyneth Paltrow wore.
That I was so excited when I saw that happening. I'm like, yes.
A guy that in this movie that plays the lookalike for the guy who plays Smith Jared. Because he walked that Tom Ford runway show.
Yes.
The blonde-haired dude.
Yes. He looked amazing.
Yeah, that was a good recreation.
It was. I mean, and I thought the Anna Wintour lady was pretty good.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That scene was wild. When they cut to both Andre Leon Talley and Anna Wintour, it was audible. You were there.
I was.
That was wild.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
I didn't. There's just some points in this film where I'm like, that's too high camp to be forgotten.
Uh-huh.
And I commend it for that.
Yeah, no, I love that. I was like, oh, okay. Surprise.
Oh my God, but the way Andre Leon Talley looked.
Mm-hmm. He did some type of head movement too, like something
it was wild.
Sassy. I don't know.
They put he looked like a guy that was like the gaffer or something, and they were like, you kind of look like him. Come on, and put a caftan on him, and
yeah,
give
get to work.
Yeah, they're like, get to work. Yeah. Move your head around.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he did all right. I mean, it was just a flash, though. It was like so quick. Like, we didn't really get... I really would have loved if we lived in the fashion world. I love this. I feel like this episode is just turning into like what I would have loved.
I know. And I guess I was just expecting, you know, in Ocean's 8, how they have Andre Leon Talley.
Oh.
I would have loved some like realness.
Yeah, some realness.
Tom Ford playing another character other than Tom Ford.
That would have been cool. Like a cameo.
Because he used to be an actor.
That would have been really cool. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. But what were you going to say? I feel like I cut you off. I feel like I have a lot of opinions now.
No, I agree with you. Like, just like having more realness. Like, I would have just loved to see more in the fashion world too. Like, because Gucci is such a big fashion brand. Like, such a big name. You just would think they would explore... Like, I get that they have to talk about the family drama and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously. But, like, I just wish we saw... I don't know. I just like the art of it, like the fashion of it. Like we see like Paolo Gucci, like we see him trying to create new designs and things like that. Like that was interesting to me. Like the artistry of it all. I feel like I'm interested in that as well. You know?
I agree. I will say to that, like in real life, it is way more interesting. I wish they would have shown more of the fashion, like to your point of, you know, the old school just like started off as like luggage.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
And then Paolo in real life, you know, his idea was wanting it to be more of like what Michael Kors is now.
Basically, yeah.
Or, you know, but they didn't really specify that in the film and they didn't really convey that.
They didn't specify anything.
They just really conveyed that Patrizia was being manipulative.
Yeah.
And that Paolo thought his collection was a sleigh.
Yep.
So therefore, we're thinking it's a sleigh, but in real life, I wish they would have shown a little more.
Yeah.
That it wasn't until Tom Ford, it really like revamped it and like changed it. And it wasn't because of the Gucci's.
Right.
Which is, like, you know, this family brand is all about family. Mm-hmm. Father, son, house of Gucci.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't feel the rumblings in the family. Like you would, because also... Patrizia forged those signatures of Mauricio that really did Paolo dirty.
Right. Which, I mean, they do touch on and stuff, but there's not enough build-up and tension.
Yeah, there's no drama to it.
Yeah, there needs to be way more drama. This is from, like, this real-life story has so much drama, it's unbelievable, that, like, if you're gonna make a movie about it, you need to include that drama and tension, because it's a lot.
Yeah. But I feel like they just, like, you're right, they do they touch on everything. But it's in these, like, little scenes for being a 3-hour movie, mind you.
Oh, was it 3 hours?
Or, like, 2.5. It's a longer movie. But it's, like, they just kind of, like, hand the paper and they're like, yeah, we did Joe for Paolo.
Yeah.
And that's, like,
but no build up. Like, it's, I don't know. I feel like some of the transitions from scene to scene were just so confusing because it's, like, all of a sudden we're in a different year now. But we're not really going to tell you we're in a different year, you know, and now it's going to be about this character when just a moment ago it was about these two characters. But I don't know. I feel like this really could have been like a 2 or 3 part movie. Like if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of it all. But I just feel like it was like, there wasn't like a solid focus. Maybe if it was more character driven, like if it was more from Patrizia's point of view.
Which we all want.
That's what we want. Yeah. I mean, I know that like the Gucci family themselves have like said like, hey, you made her too sympathetic. Like, I don't know, something about her being in like a man's world. And they're like, that's not how it was. Like we had women on the payroll or something. And
I do think that was an interesting angle that they took, like Ridley Scott took in this film, which was like, wait a second. You're going to like girl bossify her? Like she's so much more interesting. You don't have to do that.
You don't have to. No, she's already pretty interesting.
And she's wild. I feel like it should have been like, you know how they did the Versace murder with Darren Criss playing, what's his name? Andrew Cunanan? Did it, because you know it's like from his point of view.
Yeah.
And it's like really creepy. And it doesn't like justify his actions, but it's just told through his lens.
Yeah.
It seems like a romp until it's not. And I think this movie is begging for Gaga to be the star.
Yeah.
So why is this House of Gucci and not like House of Patrizia or something? Why aren't we
watching that film?
Why don't we come in the like late 70s, early 90s with Patrizia meeting Maurizio? Because it does do that, but why aren't we seeing it through her lens up until the murder?
Yeah, it changes. Like the lens is like all over, but we need like, because unless it's like a documentary, I don't know.
Like The Crown style or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I really just wished it was more from her perspective. And I wish there was more tension between her and Maurizio, because I'm sure in real life there was. And to understand her decision to kind of, to hire a hitman, you know, like what builds up to that. Like you kind of understand it in this movie, but it does seem like it happens fast. One moment, you know, they're married and happy, then they have a kid. Now all of a sudden he's cheating on her. Like it's not really, there's not like, it's like there's missing pieces to that.
For sure.
I don't know.
So an hour into it, how would you describe, like, what is the plot of House of Gucci?
Well, the plot.
Are you using the Google summaries? Because those are always great.
I know, right? Well,
let's see how accurate it is.
When Patrizia Reggiani, an outsider from humble beginnings, marries into the Gucci family, her unbridled ambition begins to unravel their legacy and triggers a reckless spiral of betrayal, decadence, revenge, and ultimately murder. They kind of this kind of blames her for the family falling apart, though, but did she really? Like, there's no way she could have torn apart the whole family.
It was going to fall apart anyways. They didn't ever see eye to eye anyways.
Yeah.
But also that sounds dope. That sounds like Marie Antoinette on crack.
Yes.
This movie is not that.
No.
Those are lies.
Yeah.
It's not even really told from her point of view.
I know. Yeah. That is one of my biggest beefs, I think, with this movie.
Yeah. Or told from Jared Leto's Paolo. That's a camp performance I'd love to see.
Interesting. Yes, because he's like he's the overlooked heir to the Gucci throne, and he has ideas. He's an artiste. I mean, that's what Jared Leto said. Like, he connected with his character so much, and he was like, I guess he like campaigned for this role. Like, he wasn't, I don't know whose script he read for beforehand, but he was like, no, I'm playing Paolo, basically. Like, this is me. Like, I have to do this. Like, in his bones, like, he had to.
Have you seen what Paolo looks like?
Yeah, he doesn't really look like, I don't think they look anything alike. I'm very confused. He also didn't like look like fat.
They did him dirty.
And his hair wasn't long and stringy, right? From what I could tell, from the pictures that I could find. I don't know what photos they were looking at.
Let me look it up again, but no, I believe they did.
Because he is also balding, but they make him like really...
He was a cutie.
He was?
He was a little cutie.
Let me see. I mean,
you know, like a little cute old man.
You just show me this old man like in the chair. Oh my god!
But he looks adorable.
I know what you're saying. Like, he's definitely not ugly. Wait, does he even have a mustache? Oh, he must have had a mustache at some point, or they wouldn't have given him one. Yeah, I guess there he did. Oops. Well, there he kind of looks like. Well, hold on,
but not like fat like that. Like with the little like, what's it called in the chin? Like a. Not a gullet, a guzzler. He doesn't look that bad.
He looks more put together for sure. Like, he looks like his haircut is sharper. Yeah.
See, like, here's a side by side.
Well, I mean, yeah. I feel like he definitely looks worse in the movie. Like. And there he looks older too. So, but I'm confused. Like,
they didn't have to do his hairpiece like that, like on Jared Leto's.
No, they didn't. I guess that was another like issue too when getting him ready, because it took like 6 hours or something for him to get in that whole suit and do the hair and makeup and the bald cap, like 3-piece bald cap. Because Jared Leto has so much hair, like they really struggled to get the whole situation together up there.
So he method acts for everything else, but wouldn't cut his hair.
Nope, he wouldn't shave his head to have a receding hairline.
No, I stand by Paolo Gucci.
The real Paolo Gucci.
The real Paolo Gucci. he's a cute man. He wasn't like a looker.
No, but I know what you're saying. I was a little shocked when I looked him up and saw the real Paolo. And I'm like, whoa, they did him dirty.
They really did. Like, even when he was doing the receding hairline thing with like the mullet style, it wasn't dark. So it didn't look as like bad. It kind of just blended in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it. I get why the Gucci like family wanted to sue.
Yeah, they did. They didn't sue, but they wanted to.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. They're like, we could though.
I don't know if they make Patrizia Reggiani like sympathetic. I feel like they just make everyone look
bad.
Like
kind of, like the whole family and like everyone is just kind of, I don't know. They just seem kind of like greedy and like messed up and backstabbers. Like you can't trust anyone.
But you don't know any of their motivations really.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is wild. Can we talk about Jeremy Irons like as Rodolfo? Like his British accent that just, I don't know. I feel like he had an Italian accent for like a very short time. And then that kind of took me out a bit because I was like, wait a minute. Why is he so British? And I know he's a British actor, but like,
every time he was on, it was so crazy to like when they would cut to him after like an Adam Driver like Lady Gaga scene, which they're like acting the heck out of it, and then you see Jeremy Irons in a full British accent and you're like, hey, there's Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, I just kept thinking that was Jeremy Irons.
And then like Al Pacino walks in and you're like, there's Al Pacino.
There he is, my man, which I love to see.
I do too.
I do love Al Pacino. I feel like he can do no wrong.
There will be no Al Pacino slander on Late to the Party with Nikki and Brie.
No, definitely not. No.
Even at his worst, he is the best.
Yes.
So yeah, no notes for Aldo Gucci.
I know. It literally in my notes, I think I just said he never disappoints.
He never.
Period. Like that's it. That's all I have to say.
Even in Jack and Jill, which he's the best part of Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
Love him.
Even in People I Know. Actually, the People I Know is the one time I feel like he maybe didn't slay, but I still love him.
It's camp.
It's camp, yeah, for sure. Don't ask him to do a Southern accent. That's all. Just don't. But he's in his element here.
Yes. And no, he plays it really well.
He's very believable. Yeah. I feel like I read some reviews where they were like, hating on him, but I didn't really understand. I'm like, no, I think he's perfect. Like, yes, it makes sense. Like that he'd be tied up in this family.
He's the only one I trust.
Yeah, for real.
He's kind of like the only one I believe too. I don't know why they cast Jeremy Irons. I don't know.
Maybe it was Ridley Scott. Isn't he like? Is he like friends with him? Like, do they know? Just I don't know.
I don't know
because he's like an English director. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he just saw him in that role. I mean, he does. Jeremy Irons does have a good voice. Like, he has kind of a sexy, kind of like, ooh. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
Like a stern voice, maybe?
I mean, he's a zaddy.
Yeah.
I'm a big Jeremy Irons fan, but...
That's why they picked him, because he's a zaddy.
Ridley Scott is 85?
No. I knew he was kind of old, but... Wow. That is awesome, though. Okay. Well, I think he really did his best. He tried.
If I'm going to be quite honest, I am not exactly familiar enough with Jeremy Irons' career to know which Ridley Scott films he's been in.
Yeah.
Because, he did Alien.
Right. That's another thing, is the Ridley Scott of it all. Like, he usually does the, like sci-fi.
Can I read you his list? Because he goes all over the map.
He does.
Alien, Blade Runner, Thelma and Louise, G.I. Jane, Gladiator, Hannibal, Black Hawk Down, Matchstick Men, Kingdom of Heaven, American Gangster, Robin Hood, 2010, Prometheus, Exodus, Gods and Kings, The Martian, Alien Covenant, All the Money in the World, The Last Duel, House of Gucci.
House of Gucci. I know that one just seems kind of random, but...
It doesn't really seem like it's in his element, to be
I think
frank.
That's probably maybe part of it. But I think maybe, like, there's certain elements, like some of his movies have strong female leads. Like, I think there was, like... That's another thing. There is a history of this movie, like, being made, like, the development of this film and Ridley Scott's involvement. Like, there's a whole, like, rigmarole around it.
Well, pray tell.
So, this all goes back to June 2006. He was set to direct a film about the downfall of the Gucci family for Paramount Pictures. But the family kind of dismissed the project and it didn't get made. But guess who was going to star in this? Just think about 2006, right? And
oh, go ahead.
No. What do you think?
Is this the one where Angelina Jolie was?
Yes. You know about this?
Oh, vaguely. I think Angelina Jolie, especially like 2006. So that's right after Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Mm-hmm. So she's in her like heyday.
She would have killed it.
Oh my God, I want to see that.
Yes, and Ridley Scott would have been younger. Like, he would have had all the energy in the world. Maybe this would have been his moment. And it's also Leonardo DiCaprio would also be Maurizio, which I don't know.
But 2006 Leo, just like, you know, post Aviator.
Yeah, 2006.
Yeah,
that film would have slapped.
That would have been the film to end all films.
Yeah.
Like Ridley Scott too, with Leo and Angelina Jolie. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Whatever that film is directed by Ridley Scott makes sense.
Yes.
When you throw in, because, okay, also Adam Driver, I love him as an actor. Mm-hmm. Also love a good nose. You know, like we both love Adrian Brody. He's in the same family with the nose. Adam Driver is such a different actor than Lady Gaga.
Yes.
And Al Pacino. And Jared Leto is such a different actor than Adam Driver.
I know what you're saying.
And yeah, Jeremy Irons is very different than Jared Leto or Al Pacino. Uh-huh. So they just don't mesh.
No. All great actors, though.
Yes.
We love them, but like, I agree. Like, they don't really make a whole lot of sense together. Like, yeah.
But I wanted them to.
I wanted them to, too, because I love, oh, man.
You know who is great with Lady Gaga? Salma Hayek.
Yes, they play off each other very well. That's another thing in this film, like, just that I would have loved to see more of is her relationship with Peanut, the psychic. Like, because she... Like, in real life, they had a friendship. They were, like, besties. And they also had a downfall after the... Like, this movie, I feel like, could have touched more also on the trial. Mm-hmm. Like, when she gets sentenced, you know, and the aftermath of that. Like, they didn't really get into that because that is also interesting to me. Like, there's just so much stuff that happens.
Also, just, like, a fun fact. Salma Hayek, her husband... owns Gucci.
Wait, what?
Currently.
Wait,
yeah.
really? Mm-hmm. That is a fun fact.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Francois Pinault. Or as I like to call him, Mr. Salma Hayek.
Mr. Salma Hayek. I like it. So basically, I would have liked to see more of like the whole Peanut as the accomplice because there was like a back and forth where like Patrizia was like, it's all her fault. She told me to do this or something. Or like, I don't know, blaming it on her, like the murder, which like, you can't just really say that. I don't know. You can't blame someone for your decision to murder your husband. I don't think. I mean, you could say they're involved, but I don't know. They had like a whole like, you know, their friendship fell apart. And I think that's kind of interesting. Like that's drama, you know, is all I'm saying.
That's why it should have been A Star is Born, Patrizia Reggiani.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But I do love we meet Pina, the tarot card reading psychic.
No.
As Patrizia is like looking at the TV.
That part was cool, yeah.
And, you know, she calls in and answers on the air like Miss Cleo style. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of having this like flirtatious relationship where it's like showing Pina on the TV and Patrizia in her kitchen. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
Patrizia's being all cheeky. She's like, well, will I get what I want?
Yes.
Like, and then Peter's like, it doesn't work that way. You got to ask a specific question, but.
Yeah. And then she says to wear green.
Yeah, she does.
Which she doesn't wear a lot. I didn't
even see her wear the green.
the scene afterwards, she's wearing black gloves, and I originally, because of the lighting, thought they were green, and I got hyped for a second, and I made a note, and then I had to like scratch it out.
That was a miss. They could have made it green. Like, that would have made so much sense. See, I just think that would have been interesting, like the plotting of everything, like getting more into that, and like I do like the scene where she's like, can we put the evil eye on him? You know, like at a spa or whatever. But she's like, they're just talking about Maurizio. And she's like, I'm just so tired of it. Like, what do I do? Like,
well, because he does do her dirty.
Yeah.
Like, he's having an affair with this blonde lady.
There is a certain point where you side with Patrizia and you're like, yeah, okay, I understand. Like,
there is that scene when, you know, Patrizia really, she calls him a bunch. And I forget exactly what she does, but... And she is using the kids to kind of bait him.
He shuts her out, like, completely. So she's, like, doing everything she can to kind of...
get him in. And there's a scene where Patrizia, like, confronts him. And he's like, you're embarrassing yourself. But the way Adam Driver says it, I'm like, murder him.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, snap, you should, murder this man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's not juicy enough. Yeah. When the murder takes place. It's like really solemn and whatever.
Yeah.
I would, as the Gucci family, be like, not that they sympathize with her too much.
No.
But it wasn't spicy enough. I'd be like, our family's crazy. You could have focused on that. Patrizia is like a lovable, like Joker style villain. Like, follow her.
Yeah.
Don't play the middle.
Don't play the middle. I agree. Like, just don't play the middle. Also, in real life, apparently, Patrizia bought like her outfit for the funeral before he even died.
Why didn't they show a scene like that?
That would have been a cool scene. Yeah, people like were aware, or at least Pina knew about it. Like, someone could have called her out. Like, I would have liked someone to like call her out more or something to kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't. They what did they say? Like, happy wives don't just kill their husbands?
Yes.
Or something? You know, like, I don't know.
Well, endorphins make happy people, and happy people just don't go and kill their husbands.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. That I do know about. I know about Legally Blonde logic.
Yeah.
Also, you know, Patrizia couldn't kill her husband because she just got a perm.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what would have been great? Even if it's an embellishment. So this murder takes place about 95, right?
Right.
So Gianni Versace would still be alive.
Yes.
Go in. Patrizia, there needs to be a scene in my mind of her going into Versace, hobnobbing with like Gianni or Donatella or something.
Uh-huh.
And then that be the funeral outfit, you know?
Yes.
Or, you know, like somewhere else, some other luxury house.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Why was there not also more hobnobbing with the luxury? Like, because I feel like they allude to like this luxurious lifestyle, like obviously, but there could have been more opulence.
There wasn't a lot of opulence. And like we know from Maurizio's side, like he really doesn't want the opulence and he wants to like live in Patrizia's like peasant life.
Which makes sense. Like they did a good job of showing that
but then not tempting why Patrizia would fight so hard to be back in and manipulate her way in.
No, other than just we know that the family has money, but they didn't really show that. Like they, you know, and like, or being like New York socialite, like that was a big part of her experience that I feel like we didn't really get to see that. Like we see her hang out with Aldo Gucci and, you know, get clothes for free, but it's not the same as like going to parties. Like it just, I feel like there must have been more to the lifestyle that it would have made more sense. Like the appeal of it all, I just didn't.
That you would want to kill your husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's things at stake. Maybe that's it. There's like nothing at stake.
I feel like there needed to be more at stake. Yeah. Because in real life, I think there was a lot at stake.
So much. Especially for like Maurizio, or like we kind of see it with Paolo, which I'll give Jared Leto credit for.
Yeah.
But with Maurizio, there's a lot of inner work going on, but that's not the film we're in, Adam Driver. So it just doesn't translate.
Yeah.
But there's so much trauma with your family. And shouldn't you be torn?
Yeah, I was hoping to see more of that, like being torn, like, yeah, like maybe between her and his family and whatever, or what to do with, because he doesn't really want this. You can tell he's not really wanting to be, like, he doesn't want this responsibility. He doesn't really care about this luxurious lifestyle. I mean, he got together with Patrizia she was not technically in his class or whatever, but he didn't care. You know, he's not that kind of person. He's studying to be a lawyer. Like, he doesn't care about fashion. Like, he's not, you know, he dresses smart, but he's not like, he doesn't seem to care about the Gucci name like that and what it all means. And like,
I didn't feel that heartbreak from Aldo or Paolo enough.
Yeah, like, I'm sure there was, and I love to see it. Like, one of my favorite scenes, I think, is when, like, Aldo's like, oh, you're an idiot, and he's all mad, but he's like, but you're my idiot, and they're like, oh, I felt a little emotion there, but, like, it could have been more, and they could have built up, like, because that's a father-son relationship. I think just, yeah, like, getting into the family dynamics more would have been great, because that can, people can, maybe we can't all relate to Gucci, like, our families are not all like that, like, that's kind of, wow, but there's certain elements of like a father-son relationship. I'm thinking, you know, a parent-child, like things you could maybe relate to, like, or your siblings, or well, I guess they're cousins, but still, like, rivalries, like, you could understand, but they just didn't get into it enough.
Or even like falling in love. Like, it's so crazy. So we meet Patrizia, well, and Maurizio, but at like a Studio 54 style, like disco, like costume party.
Yes.
And, you know, I want to say Gaga. Patrizia's dancing to Bad Girls, just like super it girl status. We don't really get to live in that anymore after this.
Yes.
Which is a shame.
I agree.
We're led to believe we're going to see like a full-fledged romance between like Patrizia and Maurizio.
Yeah.
We don't really. I do like love in a camp way they're like sex scenes, like they're steamy scenes.
Oh yeah, that was kind of fun. Yeah,
because like what I will say about Ridley Scott is where he like sits the fence on the house of Gucci of it all. He's like, nah, these two are gonna fuck.
Yeah, he did. He was like, mic drop. He was like, this is going to get intense up in here.
Yeah, I was like, why are we having two like full-fledged like sex scenes and like keeping it like going? It's like the movie doesn't even call for it, but I love the fact that he was like, nah, we gotta like do this up.
Yeah, the people have to know.
They have to know. Yeah, that like Adam Driver fucks.
Yeah.
If you didn't know already, like
yeah. That was the point he was getting across.
He was like, have you ever wanted to see like Kylo Ren and Lady Gaga in your fanfic? This is for you.
This is for you. Yeah. No, it was kind of cool because it was so over the top and it was slightly awkward because like the way it doesn't exactly show a lot. Like it's a little aggressive though. It's like a little bit like you're like, oh, okay. Like it's, I don't know. You just kind of have to see it, I guess, and you'll get it.
Yeah, like it just keeps going. Like you think that they're gonna like cut,
and it's not exactly romantic either.
No,
it is more like it felt very lustful and not so much like they were in love. So that was like another thing is like I don't know if that was on purpose to be like they like are they in love like.
But it's also a disconnect because Maurizio is so willing to like give up his life and his name, and like you can tell he's like meek and like shy and timid and like maybe not as into Patrizia, and then all of a sudden the scene happens where he's like, oh, and you're like, but wait, I don't understand.
How did we get here?
Yeah.
No, it happened fast.
I'm like, get it, girl, but like, how?
Yeah. No, I agree. I was a little like, oh, whoa. All right.
Wild. That's how I would describe this movie. Just like capital letters in bold, wild. Oh, what do you think about Lady Gaga declining to meet Patrizia Reggiani?
I don't know. Maybe that was for the best. I mean, who knows? Maybe Patrizia would put a hit out on her. I think it's interesting because I think, like, I read that Patrizia wanted to meet her. Like, she was like, well, she didn't even consult me. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, because what line do you cross? If it's a real person and they actually committed, like, well, she hired someone. So I don't know if that's the same. I think hiring someone... Okay, I don't know if this is good. I'm like,
no, I think I'm gonna agree with you.
Hiring someone is different than like murdering someone with your bare hands, right? Because while you have, it's also like you're disconnected from it. So maybe you do have regret. We don't know. You know, maybe because that's something you can't take back. But like you have to have something super wrong with you to be able to actually murder someone. And
100%.
You know, so if she was like, if she had murdered him with her bare hands, I think that would definitely be kind of scary. Like, I don't know, like as an actor to talk to someone, but even like I don't know, like I think I really don't know how to feel. Like I would probably feel like if I was Gaga, I might be a little conflicted, you know? I don't know. What do you think? Like,
it's hard.
It's like a weird, like I would understand interviewing other family members for sure.
I mean, I definitely think if they didn't consult with the family at all, they should have, or if they didn't do it a lot, they should have consulted maybe more.
Yeah, like maybe just consult with everyone. I mean, it'd be weird to only consult with Patrizia as well, not the family. That'd be wrong.
I don't know. I kind of side with Gaga on this. I don't think she should have met Patrizia. I feel like Patrizia could have like swayed her one way or another.
Sure.
Just muddied the waters. But I don't know. I think like it's so interesting because I'm like, well, did Patrizia ever see it? I know she's in jail, but does she get to see like a cut? Because I know Tom Ford did and was like, I don't like this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone did and was like, I have a lot of problems. He was
there too, though. He just like was really serious about it, maybe, and yeah. I forgot what he said, but I know he didn't really. He
did praise the performances.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think it's like messy when you consult someone that set a hit out for murdering their husband.
Yeah, but she's been interviewed. I feel like Patricia's been interviewed by people, right? So
for sure,
there probably is enough material to pull from in that way.
Yeah, I don't feel like it was like as big of a deal, but I definitely will say about that. I think Gaga, you know what, she did what she could with what she had. Like now that I've seen House of Gucci and know the movie, I'm like, you know what, I can tell Gaga was trying to create like a Star is Born if there's like 1,000 people in the room and only one person sees you type of deal, which she kind of did with the like, I'm method acting. You know, she kind of became like an internet like moment. People were tweeting it, people were making memes, you know what I mean? Like she was a moment, a viral moment for a second.
Yeah,
that's the best publicity for this movie.
It is. No, this movie is thanks to Gaga, I think. Like
the only reason butts were in seats is because of Gaga.
Agreed. Yeah. And that trailer slapped.
Yeah. Or they saw Adam Driver in that cable knit sweater. That's what did it for me. I will say, is this sweater better than Chris Evans in Knives Out? Who has the better white cable knit sweater?
I was going to say, I think it rivals it. I don't know if it's better. It's about the same, I would say. Elicits very similar feelings.
Rory Gilmore, pilot of Gilmore Girls, white sweater. Thoughts on that too?
Oh man, I'm just picturing them all side by side. And they all are like a tie for me. Like, I don't know. I can't pick. This is very difficult. Who wore it better? They're all very much the same sweater.
It's iconic nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a legacy of House of Gucci.
I do wonder about that sweater. I think it's funny too because I guess Adam Driver also got like messages like, what sweater is that? Like people were trying to figure out like who designed the sweater and all this stuff. And
what is up with a good white cable knit sweater?
I don't know.
That's the real question about House of Gucci. It's just sweaters.
Yeah. I don't know. It's classic. It's comfy. Goes with everything. Perfect for the winter.
Ralph Lauren is just getting super excited.
Yeah.
Just you feel the stores reverberating like whenever like a white cable knit sweater comes onto the scene in pop culture.
It's definitely a vibe.
I love it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what to wrap this up. I feel like we just kind of talked about pretty much everything. Yeah, like any, I guess, final thoughts on House of Gucci?
If you want the actual plot of what happened, read the book.
Read the book.
But if you want to hear some crazy accents, watch this movie.
Yeah. No, the accents are pretty wild.
It's so wild. Like Jared Leto is doing like an almost master of disguise.
It is very master. That's like, I'm like, what does this remind me of? Pistachio.
If you want to hear Lady Gaga doing a spot on Patrizia Reggiani, but also sounding like a Russian spy.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons just not doing it and talking in his regular British accent.
Al Pacino being Al Pacino.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you're the one, Brie. I don't know. I feel like I need to help you.
Help me do what?
I don't know.
Have an accent?
No, like help you through this dark time. I feel like
because I've been so let down by this movie, I'm like gonna cry. I'm like depressed.
I feel like this has like altered your brain chemistry.
No, I'll learn to live with it. I just, in my mind, okay, my final thoughts on this movie. I just wish it was different. I wish it was directed by Baz Luhrmann.
Yes.
That could have been a fun time. Then it could have gone all over the place. It could have, the crazy accents wouldn't have been, you know, it may have been similar to Tom Hanks in that film with the Elvis.
Oh, Elvis?
It might, you know, Jared Leto might be equivalent to that in the Baz Luhrmann, but
with Baz Luhrmann, it would still be fun.
Exactly. It needs more fun. Like, I know that, like, the real life story probably isn't that fun, like, for the people that are involved.
But it's a movie.
But it's a movie, and if you were gonna make it about, like, you just could have made it over the top, I think. Like, I feel like Baz Luhrmann would have done such a good job of, like, doing, like they try with the soundtrack, I think, to, you know, convey different decades or to convey a mood, but it doesn't quite hit. But I feel like with Baz Luhrmann's style of editing, where he's like that would have made more sense with the events happening. It could have been like, bam, 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 and then it could have been like, whoa, like, these characters are... Like, it just, I feel like it would have been perfect. Like, if he directed this movie, keep the same cast, and it could have just been wild, more campy.
I would have loved
more
that.
opulence.
Oh my God. Baz Luhrmann's House of Gucci. And then we get, directed by Sofia Coppola, Patrizia.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Like a Elvis, Priscilla situation. Yeah, for sure.
Which, are we going to watch Priscilla?
Oh, yeah. We are definitely watching Priscilla.
We're going.
I'm so ready. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll get our butts. We'll see Priscilla, and then we'll wait for the Renaissance tour movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Those are the two things I really want to see right now.
Yes. And Patrizia, if that ever happens.
Sophia, if you're listening.
I know, right? Like Baz Luhrmann, Sofia Coppola. Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Well, what would you rate House of Gucci?
Out of like 10 or
out of 5?
Out of 5. Like a 3.
3?
Like a 3 out of 5. Like, yeah.
I give it 2 out of 5 mangoes.
Mangoes? Oh my God. Yeah. That's
line. A deep House of Gucci deep cut.
Deep cut. What if he said she has more mangoes than you do?
That's what Paolo says to Gaga.
Yeah. Well.
Well, thank you so much for listening.
Rate and review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye.